Hello my party people, I am Mad Samurai 84 and I like to play video games and take poos. I recently finished my playthrough of Capcom's remake of the classic PS1 game Resident Evil 3 and I have decided to do my own personal real review of the game. Now it took me a while to start this due having a new arrival to my family, but I managed to get through this. Firstly, I have to say last year's Resident Evil 2 was just excellent and made me want to replay the original PS1 game, and you can see that it was an excellent game with the great reviews it got. I would personally give that game an 8 out of 10. It was a nice length with the Clara and Leon campaigns. There were some bits I would have preferred to be no better, like there being more of difference between the two characters' stories. I did find that they were too much the same. Anyway, we are talking about Resident Evil 3, not 2. This didn't fare so well with the critics. I can see why, but let's get into the details. Let's start with the controls. There is no change from Resident Evil 2, so they get a big A+ from me. But one thing I did notice from the start is that camera seemed way too close to Jill. Much closer than what was in Resi 2. Luckily there is an option to change that, but I feel like you can't pull the camera back far enough. That is my only problem with the camera. So let's talk about graphics. This game looks great and the cutscenes look beautiful. But, yes, there is a but. I'm not sure if it was cause I played on a 75-inch in 1080p, but I noticed during the cutscenes if you are close to the screen the hairs on characters' heads and faces look mesh-like and patchy. When I look at my computer screen you didn't notice these issues at all, but is this a general problem or was image being stretched a bit too much? I do have my PS4 Pro with me now, so I may check to see if I have the same problem in a higher resolution. But to be honest, there isn't much else wrong in the graphics department which you can really criticize about. The character models are on point like in Resi 2. Carlos looks like a badass and a sexy man. Moving on to gameplay, this is quite similar to Resi 2, but like with that game I am so frustrated with no instant headshot kills. It's annoying they haven't followed the common zombie law: if you destroy the brain you destroy the body. That's how I like my zombies, so why doesn't a simple headshot with a pistol kill them instantly? Now I understand the argument to making the game more difficult with having to use more ammo to kill them, but just put more zombies in the area or less ammo available. No matter the difficulty level, a headshot on a standard zombie with the pistol should be an instant skill. That's one of my main issues with the game. My second issue is the game's length. It's much shorter and feels smaller than Resi 2. The thing that made Resi 2 feel like a bigger game is the two campaigns of Clara and Leon, and then we also got the extra free updates of the bonus missions. Now I know we get Resident Evil 3 and the Resident Evil Resistance, but I wanted more. I do feel like they should have given us different story modes for Jill and Carlos instead of jumping in between the two during it, as they are solid enough and likable characters to warrant separate stories. Thirdly, the original PS1 game was called Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now I don't know why they dropped the title from the remake, but they sure rammed the Nemesis down your throat from the get-go. He was brought in too early in the fold and there were too many battles with him, which takes away a lot from him as main bad guy of the game, and the way the intro cinematics are just rubbish. They make the mistake of introducing him at the start of the game and then constantly make you either battle him or run away from him, taking any mystery that lies with him. With your final battle with the Nemesis being very disappointing but visually pleasing. But I do have to say the Nemesis looks the bee's knees. I love that we get into Raccoon City and get to explore it, but there isn't enough for us to see. A somewhat disappointing experience when it could be so much more and better, but what there is really great. They should have given us a bigger Raccoon City to traverse around and get to see a bit more of the most famous cities in gaming history. Next we talk about the audio of the game. The voiceovers are excellent, perfectly picked talent for every character to bring them to life. The general soundtrack and sound effects are perfectly done, making this a scary place to visit with all the chaos happening while also injecting your body with a ton of adrenaline in parts. It makes this as atmospheric as ReVIEW 2. I managed to finish the game in under 5 hours. I could have done it much faster. It did feel like I had finished much quicker, where I was even contemplating in going for the under 2 hours completion trophy, but I'm not sure if I want to go for that. I do want to play another playthrough and do a little mop-up of trophies, but I don't think I would like to go for a platinum in this game. I have to say my experience with Resident Evil 3 was an enjoyable ride marred by a ton of annoying bumps, preventing it from being a truly enjoyable ride. Just like driving through Belgium. But I did like it and would recommend it, but set your expectations of how much you enjoyed Resident Evil 2 a bit lower. This is a good disappointing game where it does let down the PS1 original in ways but gives it a new lease of life. Well, I think I should give this game a final real review score. Given what I have said and how I feel about the series, I feel like I would be right in giving this game a 7 out of 10. I don't think giving it a lower score would justify the good parts about it, but it is a weak 7 out of 10 as there are plenty of things which were wrong with the game, stopping it being a truly great remake of a classic PS1 game. I hear through the grapevine that a remake of Resident Evil 4 is on the books. I have actually never finished that one, so I may have to go back and finish the original, but I am game for that one. But I do have a recommendation of a ReVIEW game, or games should I say. I would like to see remakes of the PS1 and 2 light gun games, Survivor 1 and 2 and Dead Aim. Maybe a VR remake would work and be pretty awesome for these games, as there really isn't a thing of light gun games on consoles now, unfortunately. Now that's a missing genre of games we baby miss on today's consoles. Also, they really need to remake Code Veronica. I think this was a little gem and really helped Capcom make ReVIEW 4 the great success it became. And finally, I would like to see the 2 Resident Evil Outbreaks get some love. They were good games which could be, of course, be much better, but I feel like they could be reworked into something quite special. Anyway, that's my playthrough and real review of Resident Evil 3 done. I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know what you thought of the game, or what Resident Evil games you think they should remake. I do plan on spending some time with Resident Evil Resistance and doing a real review video on that game. Hopefully I can get that done in the near future. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourself and I'll see you soon. Bye.